I'm 78 years old, and 3 years ago, I started shuffling when I walked. Short steps, stiff hips, a slight drag in my left foot that I told myself was nothing. My own daughter pointed it out before I ever noticed it myself. She said, "Dad, you're walking like an old man." And the truth is, she was right, and it genuinely frightened me. Because in my decades of practicing medicine, I have seen exactly where that walk leads. It leads to falls. It leads to wheelchairs. It leads to a slow, quiet loss of independence that most people never see coming until it is already happening to them. So I made a decision that day. I was not going to walk like an old man. I found one simple morning habit, just 3 minutes long, and I have done it every single day since. Today, at 78, I walk the way I did at 45. Long strides, steady balance, no shuffling, no fear. In the next several minutes, I am going to show you exactly what changes in your walk as you age, why it happens, and the 3-minute morning habit that reversed it for me and for hundreds of my patients since. Please do not click away. The way you walk right now may be quietly predicting your future more accurately than any test your doctor has ever run. If you are new here, welcome. I am Dr. Edward. This channel exists for one reason: helping you understand your body and protect your independence with simple, honest information. Before we continue, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. That way, you never miss another video made specifically for you. If this video helps you today, type the number 1 in the comments below. If you feel I could explain something better, type 0. I personally read every comment, and it genuinely shapes what I teach you next. Let me ask you something simple. Have you noticed your steps getting shorter over the past few years? Has anyone in your family commented on how you walk? Do you find yourself looking down at your feet more than you used to? If any of that sounds familiar, you are not imagining it, and you are far from alone. Researchers in geriatric medicine have actually started calling walking speed a vital sign, right alongside blood pressure and heart rate. That is how powerfully your gait reflects your overall health. And here is the part almost nobody tells you. This change does not happen because you are simply getting older. It happens because specific, identifiable things in your body are quietly shifting, and most of them can be addressed. Here is what is actually happening inside your body as that shuffle develops. 3 systems work together every time you take a single step: your hip flexors, your ankles, and your sense of balance, called proprioception. Your hip flexors are the muscles at the front of your hip that lift your leg forward with each stride. After years of sitting, these muscles gradually tighten and shorten, which physically limits how far your leg can swing forward. That shortened range is exactly why your stride length gets smaller, 1 quiet inch at a time. Your ankles tell a similar story. The ankle joint needs a healthy range of motion to lift your toes high enough to clear the ground with each step. When that range decreases, your foot does not lift as high, and your toes begin catching slightly on the floor, which is the actual mechanical cause of that shuffling sound. And finally, proprioception. Your brain's sense of where your body is in space naturally becomes less sharp with age, which makes your brain default to shorter, more cautious steps simply to feel safer. Put those 3 things together, and you get exactly the walk my daughter noticed in me. Shorter stride, less foot clearance, a more cautious, shuffling pattern. Now here is why this matters so much more than most people realize. This is not just a cosmetic change in how you move. Research following thousands of older adults has found that walking speed is one of the strongest predictors of how long someone lives independently. A slower, shuffling gait specifically increases the risk of trips, stumbles, and falls because shorter steps with less foot clearance are mechanically more likely to catch on a rug edge, a curb, or an uneven sidewalk. And falls, as you likely already know, are one of the leading causes of hospitalization and loss of independence after 70. But there is something even more concerning hiding underneath this. Your gait pattern is largely automatic, controlled by parts of your brain and nervous system you are not consciously thinking about. When that pattern shifts toward shorter, more hesitant steps, it is often one of the very first physical signs that your body is quietly compensating for weakness you have not consciously noticed yet. By the time the shuffle becomes obvious to family members, the underlying hip and ankle limitations have usually been building for years. Here is what makes this particularly important to address early. A shuffling gait does not stay the same. Without intervention, it tends to slowly worsen because the hip flexors continue tightening, the ankles continue stiffening, and your brain continues adapting by taking even shorter, more cautious steps. This creates what many physical therapists call a downward spiral. Reduced mobility leads to less activity leads to more muscle tightness, and more muscle tightness leads to an even more limited walk. Many people unintentionally accelerate this by avoiding walks or activities specifically because they feel less stable, which only deepens the very weakness causing the instability in the first place. And there is a psychological cost too. The fear of falling itself causes people to walk even more cautiously, with even shorter steps, which paradoxically increases their actual fall risk rather than reducing it. Now here is what I genuinely want you to hold on to, because this is the entire reason I am making this video. Your gait is not fixed. The hip flexor tightness, the ankle stiffness, and even the cautious neural pattern behind your shuffle can all be meaningfully improved with the right, consistent input. I am living proof of that, and so are the patients I have worked with using this exact approach. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need expensive equipment. You need 3 minutes every single morning before your day even begins. I call this the 3-minute stride reset, and it directly targets the 3 systems we just talked about. Minute 1. Hip flexor activation. Stand tall, holding onto a chair or counter for balance if needed. Slowly lift one knee up toward your chest as high as comfortably possible, then lower it with control. Do 10 lifts on each leg, focusing on a slow, deliberate movement rather than speed. This directly wakes up and lengthens the hip flexor muscles that control your stride length. Minute 2. Ankle pump and circle. Still holding onto your support, lift one heel off the ground and point your toes downward, then pull your toes upward as high as you can. Do this 10 times. Then switch to slow circular ankle rotations, 5 circles in each direction, on each foot. This restores the ankle range of motion responsible for clearing your foot off the ground with each step. Minute 3. Tall walk practice. Now, walk forward across the room, consciously taking longer strides than feels automatic, swinging your arms naturally, and looking straight ahead rather than down at your feet. Walk the length of your hallway or living room, turn around, and walk back. This retrains your brain's automatic walking pattern toward the longer, more confident stride you are working to rebuild. That's it. 3 minutes, 3 movements, done first thing every morning, ideally right after you get out of bed while your body is naturally warming up for the day. Hip flexors, ankles, stride pattern, 3 minutes a day. Addressing exactly those 3 things is what took me from shuffling at 75 back to walking like I did decades earlier. Before you go, I want to share one detail that surprises almost everyone I tell. Your arm swing matters far more than most people realize. When you walk with your arms held stiffly at your sides, instead of swinging naturally, your entire body actually becomes less stable because that arm swing helps counterbalance the rotation of your hips with each step. If you have caught yourself walking with your arms barely moving, try consciously swinging them naturally during your next walk. It is a small adjustment, but it meaningfully improves both your balance and the efficiency of your stride. The way you walk today is not the way you have to walk for the rest of your life. I genuinely believed for a brief moment that the shuffle was simply what happens when you get older, and I was wrong. 3 minutes a day proved that to me. and I believe it can prove the same thing to you. Your stride reflects how you move through the world confidently or cautiously. Give your body the small, consistent input it needs to choose confidently. If this video helped you today, please type 1 in the comments and share it with someone you love who could use a stronger, steadier walk. And the video on screen right now covers another simple daily habit that quietly protects your independence after 70. I will see you there.